Children, have you ever heard about the mice that ate iron? Iron! Have you? Well, I am Ammu, and on Ammu&You, I have got this beautiful story to narrate to you, The Mice That Ate Iron, from Katha Sarita Sagar collection of stories. Long ago, there was a merchant's son who spent all of his father's money after the old man's death. Finally, the only thing he was left was an iron weighing scale. Now, the weighing scale was made up of very precious iron and weighed very heavy and costed a bomb. It was really, really very valuable and precious. One day, the merchant's son had to travel to another city, and so he left his only possession in the care of his friend, whom he trusted with all his heart. "Don't you worry," his friend said, his eyes gleaming with greed. "I'll take good care of this and oil it every day so that it does not rust." After a month, when the merchant's son went to collect his scale, his friend said, "I'm very sorry, but your scale is gone. It was eaten up by the mice in my warehouse." "What? Mice? Whatever do you mean? How can mice eat iron?" exclaimed the merchant's son. "I think the iron that was used to make the scale was very sweet. It must be of a very special kind. That is why it was so valuable, and so the mice took a liking to it," said his friend solemnly. Realizing that he had been cheated, the merchant's son did not argue further. He only said, "Oh well, what can we do? What's gone is gone. Anyway, I have had a long journey and I'm feeling very hungry. I have no money. The scale was my only possession left, and I've been living on these wild fruits for the past few days." His friend, delighted at having made a fool out of the merchant's son, said, Of course, please sit down." He went into the kitchen to get some food. Meanwhile, his young son entered the room. "May I have one of these fruits, please? Because I know they are very tasty," he said shyly. "Of course, but these are a bit dried up. Come with me, I'll take you to a tree full of ripe, juicy, fresh fruits." Saying this, the merchant's son held the child's hand and led him to some other friend's house. "Look after this child for me, please, will you? I will be back soon," he said to his puzzled friend. He then returned to the house of the first friend, who was pacing up and down the courtyard looking really anxious. "You!" he shouted when he saw the merchant's son. "Where is my son? I know he was with you." "I'm very sorry, but your son is gone," said the merchant very solemnly. "A hawk swooped down and picked him up, and before I could do anything, it flew away with him. That's why I had ran outside." His friend turned purple with anger, clenched his fist and said, "Where have you taken my son?" "I just told you a hawk took him." "I'm taking you to the king right now. I want my son," blustered his friend. "As you wish. Let us go," the merchant's son said calmly. In the king's court, the merchant's friend wailed, "Your Majesty, this man claims a hawk took my son and flew away with him. He thinks I'm a fool. I want my son back." Turning to the merchant's son, the king said, "What is this nonsense? How is this possible?" "Your Majesty, if mice can eat iron, a hawk can definitely carry off a human boy," the merchant's son replied. He then narrated the day's events to the king, and the king roared with laughter and made sure the weighing scale was restored to his rightful owner, and the boy was soon returned to his rather shame-faced father. See, tit for tat, worth. How did you like the story, children? Write to me in the comment section below. You see, sometimes fighting, anger, arguments don't work. What works is the use of your brains, your mind. That is what this merchant's son did, and he benefited out of it. Like, share, subscribe, press the bell icon. Thank you for listening to the story, and you wait for me, Ammu, till I come back again with another lovely story to narrate to you. Till then, Ammu says tata.